what was so cool about where We Are the Weirdos was placed in the original was it was like so off the cuff and just like some bus driver being like a tool and Fairuza just like putting him in his place.
I'm Sam Highfill with the writer and director of The Craft Legacy, Zoe Lister-Jones. Getting into all the spoilers, I went into this film, being completely honest, I went into it being like, am I gonna like this? Because I love the original so much. And I started watching it and I was like, okay, wait, I really like this. And then you throw this twist at the end. And I was like talking to an editor and I was like, I love this. Because I have to know, I mean, was your main character obviously being Nancy's daughter, was that something that was like your idea the first, when you kind of brought this to pitch your idea for The Craft Legacy, was that already part of it?
Yeah, for sure. Like Nancy is everything. She is the craft to me. You know, to me, one of the most exciting elements was Fairuza Balk. And she was and continues to be such a brilliant actor, and was really so inspiring to me as an actor. And I think just created the most complex, incredible character in Nancy Downs. So I definitely wanted to revive her and see where she was at now, and maybe tee up a sequel.
How did you go about like getting her to come back? I just spent the last 5 minutes of that movie being like, is she in this movie? Like, am I about to see her? And then that final shot, obviously. But yeah, what were the conversations with Fairuza in terms of getting her to be a part of this?
Well, she's like as awesome as you would imagine her to be. So it was, I had to just like chill, you know what I mean? Because like my fangirl was raging. And that was the first step in the process, was just like taking an Ativan and making the call. And then yeah, she was just so gracious and so down. And it's difficult for anyone who's, you know, who has such a like career defining moment at such a young age. Like it's a complicated thing to revisit that. But yeah, she was just so generous in coming in and being a part of it. And I consider her a friend now. I hope she considers me a friend. She considers me a stalker, really.
I also was like a little obsessed with like her long hair, and just like it was such a different look, which of course it's been years, so it would be, but it was just so wonderful.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you dug it.
I do, you know, in terms of talking about callbacks, obviously, like, We Are the Weirdos, Mister is like one of the most iconic lines ever. And I loved your reimagining of it. Like the moment, like in the woods was so great. Was that something like, I mean, I would imagine incorporating that line is something that, you know, you want to do fairly early on. Was it difficult for you to like, did you try it in different places in the film? Like, what was that process for you?
No, we didn't try it in different places. Although we shot one piece that wasn't a different place, that's in the trailer. So if you look closely, the trailer moment is not in the film.
A lot of weirdos out here.
We are the weirdos, mister.
I loved placing that in like a climactic moment. I mean, what was so cool about where We Are the Weirdos was placed in the original was it was like so off the cuff and just like some bus driver being like a tool.
You girls watch out for those weirdos.
We are the weirdos, mister.
And Fairuza just like putting him in his place. But no, in this one I thought I was excited to like reimagine that line and give it to Tabby's character and just like have it be the launching pad for a cool battle sequence.
I know, you turned it into like, it went from being kind of like this off the cuff, like, shut up, dude, to like this huge battle moment of like, no, this is like our battle cry in a way, which is amazing.
Yeah, well, the weirdos are getting ready for battle, baby. 2021, we're coming for you.
You mentioned kind of jokingly like queuing up a sequel, but like, is this a story that if given the opportunity, like you feel like there's more to continue telling?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love the idea of an intergenerational story coming into play, and I think that's what I was teeing up at the end, because the original cast as a whole, and obviously Fairuza among them, like it would be so amazing to see the intersectionality of like of that feminist picture, you know what I mean, of seeing how those two generations would complete this story or take it to its next like journey, I guess. But you know, it's up to the people. It's not my call.
If a shot of Nancy is not like the ultimate cliffhanger, I don't know what is. What do you feel like, you know, because they're, as much as I hate to admit, you know, time passing and aging, like there are going to be young girls who come to this who've never heard of the craft, who weren't alive in 1996. What do you hope they take away from this film?
I guess I hope that they take away, first and foremost, that like women in community is really powerful. And that outside of just women in community, I think the collective is so much greater than the individual. And I think that is such a important message of our time, and something that is hard to understand when you're young, because it's so easy to feel isolated, especially if you're othered. And so I think rather than turning any of your angst or rage on each other or on yourself, it's like finding your community and stepping into your power within that community and allowing those people to uplift you. And that there's hope. I guess I'm trying to tell myself that, to be honest. Forget the young people. I'm like, there's hope, guys. But the young people, and I hate saying that because I still think of myself as a young person. I am a young person. Okay. But no, the young people do give me hope. And like this cast gives me so much hope. We all have so much to learn from each other. So I'm not even in a position to teach. Like I have so much that they've taught me. And I just hope that I, you know, have represented this generation in a way that feels authentic to their world. And I think, you know, also just that there are really nefarious forces at work that have been at work for a really long time, and that it takes all of us together to I lost my
that was
my message was so powerful that my earbuds flew out of my ears. That was magic, you guys. I just witnessed magic. The patriarchy was like, you will stop speaking. No, that like there are such like nefarious forces at work that are so pervasive, and no, like even though we've come far, there's so much further to go, and it's going to take all of us together to really like transcend those institutions and create a better world.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Zoe, so much.
Thank you so much. It's so nice talking to you.
Truly, I cannot wait for the world to see this movie. It's so good.
Oh, thank you. That means so much to me.